Hey YouTube, Matty's A12 Team JMT. I'm actually on my way to go do some umpiring right now. Yeah, I enjoy baseball and I enjoy umpiring. It's a lot of fun. It's some good cash, if you want to do it on the side. But I wanted to take a chance to talk to you guys and ask you a question. Are the elemental dragons or incarnate dragons or dragon rulers or whatever you want to call them, the elemental dragons that are coming out in Tachyon Galaxy this weekend, can you play that deck without Dragosack and Big Eye? Other than those two cards, the extra deck is really not that expensive. Now, the common, the baby dragons are commons, the big dragons are rares. So, though, everything in the deck is going to cost you, the main deck is going to cost you about $50, other than the super rejuvenations, which are running about 20 a play set. And then the gold sarks, if you don't mind playing commons, you can pick those up for about $8 to $10 a piece. So that's like another $50 in those two play sets. So that combined with the other commons that you would need out of Tachyon Galaxy and commons that you probably already have as a player, that puts you right about $100 on the budget end for this deck. The real money in this deck is going to be in the extra deck. Dragosack is going to be, he's a secret rare. He's going to be $100, maybe $125, and maybe even up to $150 a piece, because you're going to need 3 of them. And then you're going to need 2 big eyes, at least, if not 3 big eyes. So there's another 100 right now. They're right around $100 right now. Maybe up to 125. Again, maybe up to 150. However, we could be getting reprints of those soon. We're pretty due for a reprint of Big Eye, especially with as popular as it's going to be when Elemental Dragons hit. So that's 5 cards, and you're looking at close to $100 if you're lucky, $100 a piece. Let's say you're not lucky and you'd have to pay a little bit more on each card. You're looking at between $500 to $600 on just 5 cards in your extra deck. There are many players, including myself, that cannot afford that. So, if you don't have those 5 cards, you don't have any rank 7s other than Gaia Dragon and Abyss Gaios. Those are the only other 2 rank 7s that are available to us that are a reasonable price, and they're still going to be 10s to 15s. Can you play this deck without Dragosack and without Big Eye? Do you have the ability to OTK and everything? I think Blaster is like 2400 attack. I'm not really for sure. I know the Earth one is 1800 attack and 3000 defense. I'm not real sure what the other one's attacks are, but if the low is 1800, then I'm fairly certain the attacks of the other dragons are going to be 22s, 25s, maybe 26. I'm really not sure. But they're going to be fairly large. And I know that you can easily exceed summon into the rank 7s, which means it's going to take 2 of those guys. And if they're all floating around 2000 attack, that's roughly 4,000 damage that you can do if you can put 2 of them on board and get the attacks through. So do you have the ability to OTK with this deck without using Dragosack and Big Eye? I think that's a huge question that we all need to ask ourselves is can this deck be played without those? Because if this deck can be played without those, then we're going to be infested with this stuff, guys. This game is going to become extremely one-sided. If you can't build, if you're going to play dragons and still be able to OTK me without having to have the $600 extra deck, then I'm going to have to come up with something to beat that. So, the only thing that's keeping pace in the OCG is Prophecies, and I'm not spending that kind of money on Priestess. So that really leaves us to the choice of Evil Swarms. I really feel like if you want to be a quote-unquote budget player, Evil Swarms are going to be the only thing that you're going to be able to play right now. And that's just because Ophion gives you the immediate answer to both of the problem cards, being Priestess and all of the level 7s that the dragons are going to summon. That's the only thing that's going to give you a good Game 1 matchup. Now, I've had some buddies of mine play testing against this deck, and they've been saying that Insectors have been doing well. I mean, I guess that could be a rogue deck. That could, I mean, Hornet and being able to pop, your opponent's field with ease is the key factor in that matchup. So I don't know that Fire Fist would have the same good matchup, because they're not going to be able to pop multiple cards where, Insectors can do that. So I really can't think of anything else, just off the top of my head, that's going to have a fairly good matchup with this stuff. So, I mean, yeah, that's a major question that we all need to ask ourselves, guys, is, can this deck be playable without having that extra deck? Because if this deck is playable without the big extra deck like that, then that's all we're going to see. It's going to be a one-sided format, and that's all we're going to see at all is just dragons. And I really feel like that's going to be a determining factor on how bad this game could get. Not that it's going to be bad. I mean, I guess it's going to come down to skill and dollars, which is kind of what it's always come down to. So there you go, guys. That's some of my thoughts on where this game is going post Tachyon Galaxy. I appreciate it. Subscribe, comment down below, show us how much you love us.